Greetings from far, far away. I am not in North America this week or next, so 2 days from now I will not be able to be there to celebrate my friend and colleague David Beatty's retirement, and I wanted to instead film this message for him. And in this message, I'm not going to focus on the DEP, the Director's Education Program, which is a spectacular success of his. We had a world in which there wasn't education for new directors. It had been tried by various people at times before. It always failed. And David crafted an approach, a program that has gone on to be by far and away the most successful non-degree executive ed program in Canadian history. And I suspect that if you did an objective analysis, it would be one of the top 10 worldwide, along with the AMP at Harvard and the AMP at INSEAD and the negotiation program at Harvard Law School and the boot camp at the Stanford D School. So it's something of real global relevance. But others will talk about that, I'm sure. I'm not going to talk about his absolutely spectacular teaching, his creation of courses that were must-take courses, his many teaching awards, his ability to teach anything to anybody and make them love it and learn. So I'm not going to talk about that again because that's very evident and clear to lots of people. What might be less evident and clear is his role in the management of the Rotman School during our great transformation. And that role was the chair of the Dean's Advisory Board. I asked David to help me form and chair the Dean's Advisory Board, which he did for 15 years. The whole 15 years I was there, he was the chair of the Dean's Advisory Board. He helped me assemble a group. So I said, David, simulate a real governance board. And that's what he did. And it was not an easy job, but he ran it with a culture that said, Roger needs to come to us as he would a real governance board, talk about what he's up to. We should give him advice. We should say, I don't know about that, etc. And that wasn't an easy job, but he did it brilliantly. And that Dean's Advisory Board was incredibly important to me across the 15 years of being Dean. To really understand David Beatty and his ability to do so many things, I harken back to the 80s when I was a rabid Boston Celtics basketball fan. I actually got season tickets to the Celtics during that period and was a rabid fan. They were a legendary franchise in the 60s and early 70s, fell terribly in the late 70s, and came back under the big three, Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, and Kevin McHale, and won 3 championships that I was able to watch with glee. And the third of that trio, Kevin McHale, was this very interesting guy. And when he retired after a 13-year career, 3 championships, Hall of Fame, top 50 players in all-time NBA history, a Boston Globe sports writer wrote a column saying, well, Kevin McHale has totally transformed the power forward, that was his position, his power forward position. And it went on to say how great he was. And a couple days later, Bob Ryan, he said, that is absolutely not the case. Kevin McHale came, he graced us for 13 years. He did things completely different than anybody else, and he's retiring, and there will never be another Kevin McHale. I would say that neither Ryan nor the other fellow who wrote the first article were right. He didn't transform it so that we would have lots of Kevin McHales, but it wasn't like there would never be another one. There was another one. There is another one. The best player in basketball today, Nikola Jokic. And so that brings me back to David Beatty. So in my view, David had this unique set of skills that he brought to the Rotman School. And during that time, we benefited greatly from him. And it's not as though there will never be another David Beatty. But my bet is he's got such a unique set of skills. It may well be another quarter century, just like the difference between the times of Kevin McHale, who finished his career before Jokic was born, to see that next, because you were so special and you made such a contribution along so many dimensions to the Rotman School. Congratulations, my dear friend David. Thank you very much.